Good morning, children. I hope you are doing good and taking good care of yourself by staying inside and doing lots and lots of fun with some studies also. I hope you are thorough with the previous presentation till now. Now moving on further to our chapter Health and Hygiene, we will move on to the topic diseases. A disease is a condition in which our body or part of it does not function properly. Diseases can be of two types: communicable disease and non-communicable disease. Communicable diseases are diseases that spread from one person to another. Diseases can be transferred from one person to another through germs. They are generally microorganisms. The different microorganisms are bacteria, virus, fungi that are present everywhere around us, in air, in water, and in food also. They can enter into our body through these different means and causes different diseases. For example, the diseases caused due to bacteria are cholera, pneumonia, tuberculosis, typhoid, etc. The diseases that are caused due to virus are, we all must be knowing, flu, as we all say. Flu is like common cold only, but with temperature. Then common cold, polio, chickenpox, measles. These are the diseases that are caused due to viruses. Then protozoa is also a microorganism that also spread diseases like malaria and dysentery. Then there are different, here is a list of different diseases like cholera, that is spread to other person through using contaminated food and water. Same here, typhoid and hepatitis is also caused due to contaminated food and water. Influenza and tuberculosis is caused due to contaminated air. Malaria is caused due to mosquito. We all know that Plasmodium parasite is a mosquito that, if bite, causes malaria. Tetanus is caused due to infection of rusted item. How we all can prevent communicable disease? Communicable disease can be prevented from not spreading on a large scale is maintaining clean supply of water. Then sanitation means maintaining hygienic conditions in our houses and in our society. Proper living places for everyone, and vaccination. About vaccination we'll study later on. Now other types of diseases are non-communicable disease. Diseases that do not spread from one person to another are called as non-communicable or non-contagious diseases. In this, microorganism doesn't play any role. These are rather caused due to deficiency of one or more nutrients into our body. For example, sickle cell anemia, diabetes, cancer are the diseases that is not communicated to one person or another. Here are more examples of non-communicable disease like asthma, heart attack, kidney diseases, osteoporosis and Alzheimer's. These are the diseases that are caused due to deficiency of one or more nutrients into our body, and that is not communicated from one person to another, and microorganisms does not play any role into it. For example, if one person is having diabetes, the other person in contact with the diabetic person will not have diabetes. Diseases that are caused by the lack of some particular nutrient in a person's diet are called deficiency diseases. These are non-communicable diseases. Types of deficiency diseases are anemia, scurvy, asthma, diabetes, obesity, rickets and kwashiorkor. Here are the deficiency diseases that happen due to lack of vitamin in our body. For example, if we do not have sufficient vitamin A in our food item, we will have night blindness. What are the symptoms of night blindness? Poor night vision and loss of night vision. Then due to lack of vitamin B, we might have beriberi. The symptoms are nervousness, paralysis and weak muscles. Lack of vitamin C causes scurvy, that is bleeding gums and swelling of joints. Vitamin D causes rickets, that is weak bones and decaying teeth. Vitamin K causes hemorrhage, that is clotting of blood is affected. Now here is a list. First column is vitamin or mineral, then diseases that is caused due to the deficiency of vitamin, and the sources from which we can get the specified vitamin or mineral into our diet so that we can escape from having the deficiency diseases. For example, if we are having scurvy due to the deficiency of vitamin C, we should have ample of lime, lemon and oranges into our food. That is a rich source of vitamin C, so that we can avoid the situation. Same way, calcium, we know that calcium is very important for our body for maintaining strong bones and teeth. We get lots and lots of calcium from milk products and green leafy vegetables. So to avoid the deficiency of calcium in our body, we should include milk and milk products into our food item. Same way, iron, deficiency of iron causes anemia, that is lack of RBCs in our body, and the sources from which we can get iron are green leafy vegetables, pulses and meat. So to avoid the deficiency of iron, we should have green leafy vegetables into our diet every day. Prevention of communicable disease. You should wash your hands at regular intervals. Should cover your mouth when sneezing or coughing. You should have properly cooked food and in clean vessels, and you should not share your food with some sick person. We should eat a balanced diet with lots and lots of fruits and salad into it, and have 8 to 10 glasses of water every day. And you should maintain your personal hygiene, taking bath every day, wearing washed clean clothes every day, and maintaining cleanliness around you. Now one more way to prevent diseases is vaccination. What do you mean by vaccination? Vaccination is to create immunity against a particular disease. Vaccines are made up of small quantities of dead or very weak germs or microorganisms of a particular disease. They are given orally or injected into our body, and when these microorganisms enter into our body, they produce substances capable of fighting the diseases. The vaccine that is given to children are for polio. DPT vaccine is to prevent diphtheria, pertussis and tetanus, and MMR vaccine is given to children to prevent measles, mumps and rubella. Now, the other important thing that you should take into consideration is hygiene, that I have already told. To maintain your personal hygiene and cleanliness around you. Hygiene is defined as good habits that ensure cleanliness of you and around you. There are some steps that you can maintain good hygiene. You should wash your hands with soap and water before eating food and after eating food. You should take a bath daily so that all the germs and dead cells of the body are removed. You should brush your teeth twice a day. You should clean your house properly. You should disinfect your kitchen, toilet at regular intervals. You should eat freshly prepared food. Now, to have a good health, you should exercise daily. What are the benefits of regular exercising? That is improved sleep, improved bone density, weight management, reduced risk of diabetes, decreased blood pressure and decreased cholesterol level. Now exercising is not important that you all should go to gym. Only going to gym is not exercise. When we exercise, we get more and more oxygen to our body and brain. Playing outdoor games like cricket, football, hockey is also a way of exercising. Then swimming, walking, running, cycling and yoga is also other options that you can take for exercising regularly. Exercise improves blood circulation, digestion and makes our body fit and healthy. Eating right amount of food, exercising regularly is very important. But one more thing is most important for our body is taking proper amount of rest that many a times we neglect because we give importance to other things. But minimum 6 to 8 hours of sleep per day is very essential to have a healthy body. Inadequate sleep can make us sick. If we get proper amount of sleep every day, it will improve our memory, extend our lifespan, boost our creativity, our immune system will also be improved. Then depression will not be there. We will have more physical strength next day to do our daily course. It will improve our attention span. It will reduce our stress, and if we are making our body take rest, then most of the cells are heal itself. It will make us more sensible and alert. So you should have minimum 6 to 8 hours of sleep. This is for adults. Children should sleep minimum 8 to 10 hours because this is the age when you can take maximum sleep. Once you grow up, you will not have time to sleep for so long. So you should take ample amount of sleep. Now, we don't actually give importance how we are sitting, how we are standing, how we are keeping our body whole day. This is having a very great impact on our physical personality, because if we are not having a proper posture, we will have pain in our bones and muscles. We will have numbness in some body parts. Our digestion will also be hampered, and and at times when we are not so confident, our body posture shows the same. And if we are having the correct body posture, these are the benefits of having the correct body posture. We will not have pain in our bones and muscles. We will have better breathing. We will have good self-esteem, and our confidence will be more. Now this chapter is over, children. Thank you so much for listening carefully and going through this chapter. If you have any doubt, you can contact me. I will explain it to you again. Thank you. Thank you so much, children.